Thank you all for being here. I would just want to talk a little bit about this exhibition. It's the very first time that I've shown all this work in one place, and I thank you all for showing it here. It's quite amazing. There are, I think, 110, 111 prints. They go back up to 1987, I believe. As you may well know, I was born and brought up Catholic in the north of England. I studied to be a Catholic priest, so I have an aspect of interest, fascination with religion and all that entails. In 1987 I went for the first time to Japan, and it was really the first time that I was exposed to Buddhism and the statuary associated with Buddhism. I went to Kyoto and Nara and was absolutely entranced with what I saw there, with absolutely no background knowledge of what this was about. I felt a natural, almost kinship, and it could be, of course, just the mysterious, mystical nature of another religion, which millions, philosophy that millions follow around the world, in which I was totally ignorant. So naturally my curiosity was aroused. In the following years I began to study a little bit about Buddhism. Later I went, for my 50th birthday, I went on a Buddhist 88 temple pilgrimage around Shikoku in Japan, in which I could recite the heart mantra in Japanese at each temple, and I photographed along the way, of course, because that is one of my great passions in life. I did not convert as such to a specific religion. I did not renounce any of my particular practices that I had before, but I did find that I was intrigued, fascinated, and became a follower of the Buddhist statuary, certainly. I photographed whatever I saw on this pilgrimage, and I found that later, as I began to extend my travels throughout Asia, I naturally gravitated towards temples, shrines, Shinto, Buddhist, whatever I could find, essentially. But I found there was a certain progression of aroused interest in the Buddhist statuary. I went to Thailand, photographed Vietnam, Laos, India. I also began in a similar manner to photograph Hindu statuary. I went back to here in Italy, particularly around Reggio Emilia, began a series of works on confessionali. So these are all kind of associated items of a religion that somehow appeal to me. I try not to analyze too carefully why. I just find they do. I've often considered myself a collector of images, and once I begin a project, these projects can continue for 1 year, 10 years, 50 years. The study of Buddhist statuary, I'm sure, will continue. There was a natural moment where I had a book published, and this was essentially the collection that was in the book, which was why I eventually printed them. I'm often asked, well, what inspired you to start this project? And there was never a single moment when I said, well, this is what I want to do, collect images of Buddhist statuary. But I found it was just a general progression with my life that I did this, and I continue to do so. And so in this 110, one of these statues actually belongs in my house. I photographed it. One of these I actually own. So I find that in my own home, I have statues of the Buddha kind of scattered around in different rooms, and Ganesha also, and I have crucifixes, and I have lots of sacred, sort of ritualistic iconography scattered around my home. Far more than I have photographs. It's just what I'm interested in seeing and being around and collecting. I seek inspiration from this sort of imagery. So maybe I should wrap it up here because I know you have questions. But thank you for being here.